In the Pueblo of Pojoaque, there's a saying they take to heart.
No one gets left behind, and we don't shoot our wounded.
When a tribal member is down, the Pueblo works to bring them back up.
We're all wounded to some extent here in the Pueblo and in northern New Mexico in general. We come from a very historically traumatic background.
For Governor Joseph Talachi, the trauma is all too familiar.
It wasn't until fairly recently when I figured out that this was all a traumatic experience.
Talachi was born in an Illinois prison. His biological mother is a Pojoaque tribal member who put her kids up for adoption.
I thought everyone got adopted. I thought everyone got put in a different home.
The Indian Child Welfare Act is a federal law that prevents state agencies from placing Native children in outside communities.
But given the implementation of the Indian Child Welfare Act in 1978, it opened up the doors for me to come back to my Pueblo.
The Pojoaque governor at the time was able to find a tribal family to take Talachi in at the age of 4. Because of that, he was able to return to the Pueblo, but that's not always the case for Native kids.
I can't imagine what it's like for that 4-year-old child to be placed in another home and continue to be confused.
According to the New Mexico Children, Youth and Families Department, about 10% of kids in the foster system are Native. Native kids are removed from their homes at a much higher rate than non-Native kids, and even though ICWA was enacted in 1978, there was still a disconnect with state agencies and tribes.
Sometimes it's as simple as walking into a courtroom and not seeing people who look like you. Sometimes there's been some animosity between the tribes and CYFD, not knowing what one another is doing.
Judges ran an audit and found that there were at least 100 Native children whose cases would likely end up in a courtroom, which is why Bernalillo County launched the Indian Child Welfare Act court in January.
That spoke to the need that we have to do much better. If we can do this better, that ultimately it's the kids and the families that get to stay together and have better lives.
The court's goal is to work directly with tribal members, families, and state agencies on finding the best solution for the child, all while preserving cultural ties.
That Native people should see a system that is changing to meet their needs, instead of them having to fit our cookie-cutter version of who their family should be.
Many believe this court is long overdue.
Native people can thrive with the right support.
As we see the ICWA unit working with more and more different departments and individuals, we will see, I think, sort of a shift in how CYFD does things across the board.
For Governor Talachi, his life was changed by the ICWA system.
Without the courts, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I've been given today. Who knows where I'd be?
He knows who he is, he knows his roots, and he hopes that every Native child who ends up in the system will know theirs too.
Our children are our number one asset. Who we are ultimately gets passed down to our children. Without their well-being, our culture dies, our language dies.
Marissa Armas, KOAT Action 7 News.
The new court in Bernalillo becomes the 6th IWDA court in the country, joining cities like Denver and LA. Since January, the court has heard 2 cases. CYFD created a unit that is composed of predominantly Native lawyers, caseworkers, and supervisors. Currently, the court is only hearing cases in Bernalillo County, but they hope to go statewide.